Hi everyone, welcome on in. Hi, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hi. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hold on, let me get my window bigger. Um, okay, hi Ocean, hi Copy, hi Cora, hi Milk Porch. Hi Taro, hi Elfie, hi LZ, hi Jen, Latent, who am I missing? Who am I missing? Copy, Lunk, Obenar, and yeah, everyone else. How you doing? Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that helps me feel a little bit better about the timer. Which, by the way, we should get underway. Chat healing the timer. Exactly. All right. So I made. Yep. We made it to 400. Okay. Well, I guess we're talking about that first. Thank you, thank you. And I guess there's a hype train too. Um, yeah. Uh, okay. So goal 4. I mean, today we're doing no. This is goal 4. This is the 300 goal. Today we're doing the tier list. But now that we got to 400, we get to make the default cube as a VTuber. So after doing a tier list about VTubers, we will do that, which is a which is a meme VTuber. LC, thank you.
Jen gave 100.
Thank you for wait, Jen. Jen,
Elfie
100.
gave 10.
Jen. Jen, that's so much. You don't have to do that. Look, if you wanted Pikmin, you could have done 30 less dollars than that. Yes, Pikmin, yay. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So I'm excited for that. So we're definitely doing the Pikmin stream. Glad to hear. Get birthday gifted early. Aw. Thank you. All right. Um oh my gosh. And also Alfie, thank you for the $10 as well. I super appreciate that one as well. You'd give more, but the exchange rate is crap right now, so I hope it helps. It does. Thank you. Don't worry about it. It's very kind. It's very kind. Trust me, I know what those exchange rates are like. Anytime I get a commission from Canada, we really had to work something out because I'm so expensive for them. It's unfortunate. Um, but yeah. Yeah, yeah, LZ remembers that. We barely worked something out. Okay. Well, yeah, time to get cozy. This is going to be a little bit more of a chill stream than the last one because I'm just going to chat with you all for a little bit and then we're going to do a tier list, which is my first time doing one, so I got a lot of firsts for being a streamer today or well this week. Um but yeah, not only are we making this meme avatar, which I'm just going to start with a cube and you're all going to tell me what to add to it to make it funnier. We got to 500, which I'm gonna play Pikmin tomorrow on my birthday. The rest of the goals are harder to get to because I couldn't think of that many. So I spread them out more. I really did want my primary goal to be 1500 because that's kind of the base price for a commission, which is basically what the my 3.0 model is going to be. Is like it's a full commission from myself, and I'm going to be taking up that time, so I need to be funded during that time so that I can pay bills and stuff. So yeah. Um I'm thank you so much. Thank you so much for boosting me further along on that goal. And even if we don't reach the goal ultimately, we got really close, and that means I'll at least be able to do some of what I promised, which is I will stream 3.0 as much as I can, which honestly probably would have happened anyway. So yeah, no pressure. I'm just happy we get to play Pikmin. That's my favorite game ever. You all are gonna hear me nerd out so much about this game, by the way. And in fact, the way things played out, I didn't plan this out very well. But this should have been here because of the days. I want to play Pikmin on my birthday, which is tomorrow. So that's gonna come up next. And then we'll do the meme avatar the day after or something. Unless we get to that later today. I don't know. We'll see how today goes. But yeah, I'll fulfill promises in whatever order makes sense. So Pikmin's gonna be next. Having to work is scary. Yeah. Also, hi Demo, welcome on in. And Connie, if I didn't greet you. You glad you get the Pikmin stream? Yeah, me too. And if you get me to 750, we'll even do Pikmin 2. Which I don't know if we'll go all the way to beating that one. I can beat Pikmin 1 on stream, though. That one's easy. Yeah, exactly. 100% just the credits. Well, I mean, it's not that hard to 100% Pikmin 1. You've never seen a Pikmin fake get played ever? You just know they're cute little things. Pikmin is so underrated. And, you know, I guess that's part of why I love it. It's a little obscure. But, it was the reason I got a GameCube. I saw someone playing Pikmin, and I was like, it just did something to me. Like, it warmed into my brain, and I was like, this game is different. I could play this for hours, and I did. Especially since, when I first got my GameCube, me and my parents, who gifted it to me for my birthday or whatever, we didn't know about memory cards. So I got a GameCube and a copy of Pikmin and nothing to save my game with. And my dad made me paranoid about running my console overnight, so I got to play the beginning of Pikmin over and over and over each day until we got back to the store, got a memory card. It was like a week of playing the beginning of Pikmin repeatedly. But that's how much I love the game. I got really good at the tutorial. And like the Forest of Hope. Yeah, without knowing it, I was practicing speedrunning. So there you go. Char knows how to pick a good man. Yeah. You enjoy Pikmin 3, got it for free on Wii U, or something like that. I like Pikmin 3. It's good in its own right. I also played it on the Wii U. And, you know, the touch controls for throwing and stuff were really nice. I got pretty used to it and got really good at it. My favorite thing about Pikmin 3 is the multiplayer though. I liked doing the challenge mode and bingo battle with other people. That was really good. They need to do more of that. Um well, even the challenge mode on its own was fun, trying to go for the gold medals and everything. The story mode I wasn't particularly fanatic about on Pikmin 3. Um, the level design, in my opinion, was just okay. They made it pretty and not really super interesting. But, you know, I come from Pikmin 1 and 2 era where the whole thing was just like a really jumbled together mesh of puzzles and enemies. Not so much about the bosses. Okay. Should model a bunch of Pikmin under the meme cube model, carrying it around. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Well, we'll see. You'll lurk for now, get cozy as you can. Okay, thanks for being cozy. Alright. So, are you all excited for the tier list stream today? I hope you are. I should probably explain how this will work. But yeah, let's see. Get my window back over here. Pull this up. Okay. So I don't know what I'm gonna name the tiers yet. Or we'll just leave them like this. But here's the idea. Hi Builder, welcome on in. So I had you on Blue Sky submit your submit 3D characters that already had 3D models but have nothing to do with VTubing. Just name the S tier the Midnight tier and get it over with. Yeah, I mean so I'm gonna look at these 3D models and I'm gonna talk about them from the perspective of a VTube model maker. And we're gonna rate them on how good of a VTuber model they would be, both in terms of for the artist to make it and for the VTuber to use it.
Raul.
Sure, you're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Hi. Hello. Minute is goals. So true. So true, Cora. Also, alright. Minna goes in her own tier above the others. I mean, if you all agree with that. You love the submissions you're seeing? Yeah, I got some pretty good ones. I was very happy with the results here. Cora, you can't talk about being topped by Minna. That's inappropriate. Talk about what happens in the actual game. She rides you. You want to be ridden by Min. Captain Underpants S tier for you. You have raw energy as a VTuber. Yeah. So tier list for potential VTuber models. Interesting. That's pretty neat. Yeah. 3D models that aren't VTubers that they could be. Let's see how well they can be. Simple base, potential for expansion in the form to perform sidekick pet character. Yeah, Captain Underpants is in there. Last minute. I was like, someone submitted this idea, and I was like, do they even have a 3D model? And then they said, yeah, Here you go. So, that one's in there. I've never seen that at all, so I don't know. A lot of these I don't know. I'm uncultured, chat. But you can tell me, okay? You can tell me in chat what these are all about. And we got 3 hours and 20 minutes left on the subathon clock to get through these. I know this won't take that long. As long as I get moving. I don't know. I could be pretty slow at some things. I can yap, chat. Also, what category should I be in? There isn't like a tier list category, is there? Should I just leave it in just chatting, I guess? Yeah, I think I should. Special events? I guess I could. I did that for my first day. Yeah, alright. Special events works. Maybe more people will notice that I'm doing a subathon. Thank you for the T-step. Yeah, okay. There we go. Category updated. Also, hi Ronnie, how you doing? Okay, shall we get started on this? Now, what I'm going to do, because the icons are actually really tiny here, and I can't look at them bigger, is I'm going to tab over to Blue Sky, and we're going to look through the comments in order that they were submitted, and then we'll just, like, talk about the model, and then go back here and place it. That's just the way that makes sense for me. So the way this orders it, it puts my comments first, so we're gonna look at the ones that were submitted on Discord first, and then we'll scroll down and, like, get the others. Okay. Alright, let's go. So the first one's Elsa from Frozen. Which, honestly, I think that'd make a pretty great VTuber model. I've seen, like, I have mutuals who have, like, that more, like, Disney Pixar aesthetic, kind of cartoon vibe to their models. And it really works. Like, it's pretty awesome. Like, seriously. Trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah, yours is the very first one to submit. Well, not technically. I had to put them on this list manually. This one was the first one. It just shows my comments first. Yeah, very good expressions. You think the biggest downside of an Elsa VTuber model is the crackdown from Disney if you don't change it enough? Okay, one thing I'm not going to be talking about is, like, copyright infringement and things like that, because obviously all of these that would apply. So in this hypothetical, we're assuming you have the rights to the character, okay? We're just talking about the model itself and the design of it. I know you're joking, Jen. I just wanted to get that out of the way for people talking. Also, another quick disclaimer, as most people do during a tier list. These are all going to be my opinions, and it's not a reflection of how good the character is. It's just my opinions about the design, and specifically how it applies to VTubing, if it were applied to VTubing. So yeah, don't worry about the placement of the characters. I'm not hating on anybody. Ow. How dare. Okay, so Elsa. I think Elsa is great. Because, again, I have mutuals. One I can think of is Smell Elizabeth, which is, hold on, she's changing her brand name. Something Andromeda or something. But hers is very, like, in this style. Yeah. Um. Yeah, of the Disney princess, she's a little generic. So I will talk about that point. She could possibly lose points on not standing out very much, but I think Elsa's strong point is actually her outfits. Like this outfit, I've done dresses kind of similar to this actually. Um it's very much the attention point. Like she has like sequins and glitter and stuff on these like sheer parts, and then the yeah, it's a nice layer dress. I think that's kind of the focal point here. So if you were VTubing with her, you'd have yourself zoomed out a bit more to show your whole outfit. Would you need to cut down the poly count for this model? Yes, probably. Well, it depends on how powerful your computer is. It's VTubing's an interesting thing because it scales completely on the person's personal rig. You don't have to optimize it the same way you would for a game because you don't have a ton of models loaded at once. That said, models made for movies will ultimately be a little more intense than what most people would want on their model, for because you are playing games at the same time as having your model loaded, so that can be an issue. So yeah, you might want to decimate some areas or rework some areas. So if you had to, you might build her from the ground up. But I still think the design's very solid and very doable as is as a VTuber model. Um, Frying computer model. Yeah. Hi, Flora. Flora, cute. VTubing is usually done on top of other stuff, so it can cause issues. Yeah, you would want it optimized. But I could probably figure out how to do an Elsa-like model personally, so it's very doable. Unless you do silly things like me and run the game in a virtual machine and then any VTubing in a hypervisor on a separate card. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do any of that. Also, Ray, you're biting this flower? Me too. Ray! 2B has so many polygons, it's surely fine. She bit you! Good. Get bitten. Alright, so Elsa is a high tier. I'm thinking S tier or A tier. Maybe A tier because she's a little generic looking, not super fun as a design. Like, the dress is pretty, but also you need to see the whole thing in motion for it to be, like, really exciting. So maybe kind of A tier for that as a VTuber. And also making it would be a pain if you wanted to match all that detail, but that's also part of the fun. I actually like the challenge of a complex detailed model. I think I'm gonna put her in A tier. Hi, Moth. Wait, I said hi to you. Hi, Artist Synth. At least I think I did. I don't know. I'm out of it today. Okay. Next up, we have Mustache Girl from A Hat in Time. Now, I've not played A Hat in Time, but one thing I'm noticing right off the bat, doesn't she kind of look like the model I'm using right now? Like, just a little bit. Like the big eyes and like, you know, obviously not the mustache, but, you know, like the style of hair and stuff. I could very easily make a model like this. Like, I can even see, like, all the details and processes I would do. I know exactly how I would make the hair. I know how I'd make the outfit. Hands, everything. These hands even look the same. Look at that. Um, Yeah, my squishy's face is more squishy and my chibi's face is more squishy and dumpling like. Wow. I mean, true, but a little bit. But she has a 2D mouth and eyes where your mouth would be 3D. True, but I have done 2D eyes and mouth for VTubers before. It's not too hard. Um, so it's doable. I could do all of this. So ease of use, it gets ease of creation and ease of use because also it'll be very lightweight on your system, so it'd be great for gaming. Um, let me look at something actually. Where is? Yeah, okay. Fun fact. This chibi model that I am right now is only 13 megabytes. So this would be a really lightweight model, which would be an advantage to some. Like I bet this one would be even more lightweight because it's like low poly in all the right ways. Hi Lily, welcome in. Yeah. Well, thank you for the tea sip. So, um, as for like the quality and like using it, I don't know. As a VTuber model, I mean, if that's the style you're going for, that's great, but it could be higher quality. I feel like I want to start naming the categories because like there's some things I want to rank high for being easy to make and lightweight on your system, and some I want to rank high just for being beautiful and like dazzling to the viewer. Yeah, vertices in shader code aren't that hefty. It's mostly textures that do the lifting. Yeah, and I have very lightweight textures here. Also, I found out with VRM's blend shapes take up a lot of space too. So if you don't have too many expressions on your mesh, you're pretty lightweight. Yeah, I think it saves a copy of the mesh for each blend shape. So it's the best way to optimize is to cut out the face and have that a separate mesh and then do the blend shapes on that. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Hat in Time, Mustache Girl. Um, super optimized and easy to use. B tier. Because I really don't like think the design's special, but it's definitely accessible, which is pretty good. Okay. Big the Cat. LZ submitted this one. Alright. I have things to say about this one. Um yeah. So you could you wonder who did that one. You wonder. Well, we already got a Froggy VTuber model. So why not a Big the Cat VTuber model? Yeah, each mesh shape key is pretty sure is keeping every vertex location that is edited / changed. Yeah. Yeah, a bit of a blank state on both design and personality, but the context of the game, it fits really well. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Just for VTubing. Who did I wonder? Yeah, exactly. You should actually finish and share the Froggy. Yeah. We need the Froggy VTuber. You need to put that out in the world. Expressions would be difficult in this model. That's a good point. I don't think that's a good point, Leighton. I don't think Big has any expressions that I can remember. It's just kind of that face always. Now, that's not to say you couldn't work expressions into it, at least some. But one, he has no eyebrows, which count for a lot of your expression. So you'd have to work the eyes as they are. I mean, you could like maybe shape his forehead around it and get the general shape in there, because he does have a pattern on his face, so you could see it. But you could shape the eyes and then shape the mouth. But if you shape the eyes, it wouldn't really look like Big anymore. That's the thing. He's never seen with expressions. So if you change it too much, it's not really him. It's not really following the design. Aw, Jen, let me know if you think of it again. No thoughts, head empty, yeah. Body seems like big posture moods, but maybe that's hard as a VTuber. Yeah, here's the other thing. You let it go. So look at his giant ears. Those are gonna get in the way. I was thinking about before I started stream, how would you handle that? Like, you even if you look at me, like even if you put yourself down here, see my horns are big, but they curl into my silhouette. His horns would his ears would be like out here. If he was this size, like right to the middle of the screen, you could use them as the crosshair for your first person shooter. So so he doesn't have any expressions and his ears are too big. Now, you could postpone them and like fold them back a bit or shrink them down slightly. But the design's really just kind of horrible as a concept for a VTuber. He's very wide, yeah. What if they could be posed and lifted up or alt expression? Yeah, like you could pose the ears. You could work around it for sure. But even if you did work around it, this is something you'd have to constantly think about as a streamer, okay? Your overlay would have to compensate for it. The amount you zoom out would have to be a compensation. You'd have to pose the ears manually or have an expression for it or something. You'd have to do all these extra considerations just to VTube with this model, so that's a hassle. So he gets low points for that. So I'm gonna put Big in like, honestly, D tier. We're gonna start out the D tier with Big. He would be easy to make though, which is one thing I'll give him. He would not be that hard to make. Probably could keep him really performant too. Great character design, not suited for VTuber. Exactly, and we have to remember this is a VTuber list. Let's see. A tier is gonna be named. We'll we'll get you simps. I don't know. Visually appealing and expressive. Maybe you could name the deer tier like not suited for VTuber. Yeah. Also, we can add more tiers, chat. It doesn't have to be these 5. If we want to put one under or over, we can. In the middle or whatever. So if you come up with more ideas for tiers, let me know. We just gotta order them in the way that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. It's a good idea. Midna tier. Okay. Enough people have said that, and I agree with it, but we haven't got to her yet. Okay. This one was submitted on the Discord by Alfie, and I forget the name of this character already. Alfie, what was the name of this character? Yeah, this design's really cute. So apparently in this whole game... Oh, right. I didn't remember it because I don't know how to say that. Ella? I don't know. Anyway, there's the name of the character. Apparently in this whole game, it's a DS game. Just L works. Okay, thank you. In this whole game, L doesn't have her 3D model, like, visible anywhere. They don't hardly use it, but this is a 3D model. And at the very end of a playthrough video, Elfie finally caught a screenshot of it. And it's used in a cutscene. But the rest of the game is, like, sprites and artwork. So, like, yeah, it's a very DS-style model. Very simple. I think it's great because of the style of it. Like, people love this style. This is an adored style. And you could do a lot of great expressions with this. Like I said, I've done a low poly model that has just like mouth and eyes that swap out on like a faceplate. The textures and everything. Like, hold on. Let me just... Where's Grape's model? I like to pull this one out, for example. Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty similar. The mouth tracking is not set up well on this setup. But, you could have something like this, where the expressions are, just like they swap between the different textures and things. And, like, you got the low poly hair and things like that. And the pixel textures. This is also a very performant model. Where did my folder go for? All right. I just wanted to see how lightweight this is. Okay. This low poly model is 2.6 megabytes. It's very, very cheap. Very lightweight. Yeah, binary expressions. This was working quite well. Yeah. Now, I did not make the base model for this. I built off of a pre-purchased model. But yeah, I kept the textures low res. So it's pretty good. Alright, let me go back to me. Yeah, that's true, Jen. Like, you could, like, you could puppet it relatively easier. So that's a thing. L is gender. Yeah, okay, I want to put this model pretty high because, not only is it cute, it's a good design that looks very VTuber, but people love the low poly style, and models like that stand out. So honestly, that kind of makes me want to put it in its own tier, like in between these two, of like optimized and appealing, you know? Or maybe I should just pick one of these. Maybe it should go in A tier, along with Elsa, but just for its own reasons. I think I'll just do that for now. Okay. Now we're to Midna. Are we all in agreement here? Midna is above S tier. And I have reasons. I can give you reasons. Alright? Midna is Midna tier. Midna is Goblin tier. Oh, to be written by Midna. But you want to hear my reasons? Okay. Midna is very good proportions for a VTuber, other than the fact that her helmet's a little big. It's not much worse than what my horns are. In fact, the model I am right now is kind of Midna proportions. So there's a lot of focus on the head where you can put a lot of detail, and a lot of detail she has on the head. She has the intricate details on her fused shadow helmet, and she has like her red hair and like the runes on her ears and stuff, and her very interesting eye. And also we get to see her without the helmet, so you could make that a toggle. She can take off the helmet and you just see her in her ponytail with both her eyes visible. It just already feels like, plus she's a game model, so she's already low enough poly to be really performant. And she looks great. And she also is just kind of like themed in a way that a lot of VTubers would love to be themed in, you know? Like just that kind of dark, edgy vibe. So, in my opinion, definitely S tier for just like embodying all of the stuff VTubers love. and would work really well. You'd put her in the wood tier, as in wood stream with. Different tier list. And very expressive. She does. Oh, yeah. The expressions are really great. She already has like a bunch of fantastic expressions. One thing I will say is I don't know how to make her, but I could make her if I learned enough skills. So as an artist, I'm not here yet, but I could be. So yeah, we want do we want to make a new tier or just like oh wait. Because we haven't used S tier yet, so we could just make it Minus tier. Here, we'll put her at the top of the top. Because I'm sure we'll find other S tiers. Okay. There we go. You feel like she's a big catalyst for button-nosed short stack goblins as a whole. Oh, gosh. Well, I'm glad... chat, you're alright. I'm glad you all agree with me. Minna's top tier. She even you could even pose her to where she's floating. Like, she doesn't have to be just, like, boring and standing. You could have her floating pose, and she could float up and down on the side of the screen. That would be such a good VTuber model. And that way you could have her zoomed out a little bit more, so the big head's not an issue at all. Honestly, would be really cool, yeah. I had an opportunity once to, like when I was, younger and really obsessed with, well, really getting into 3D models. I looked at, some Twilight Princess models that were ripped from the game. And, I got to look at how Midna was built. And it was pretty cool. Learning how few polygons she actually had, and so much of it is in the textures. And like just yeah, it's pretty neat. You wanted a model that was floaty for a while, but that'd be weird with snack. Maybe. I mean, you do have wings. You could make it work. You could have your tail just like doing like the little like the pattern a snake makes when it's swimming. It could do that under you while your wings flap. You can make it work. You want to study different game models more? It's really fun. I haven't done it in a long time. Yeah, you could be snoodling while you're floaty. Forgot who else you wanted to submit. Oh no. I'm probably not going to check the Discord again. Well, maybe I will on break. But I don't want to, like, do too much setup at this point. Also, yeah, Lulu cute. Okay. I've never played StarCraft, but Bunny Hearted submitted this character from StarCraft. Um, uh, Kerrigan? Karen? I don't know. But I love the freaky vibes. It looks really cool. Kerrigan? Yeah. Or um so this is neat. I a lot of VTubers have wings, right? And a lot of the time you have to make them small or just toggle them off, like, or just admit them. But in this case, you could make an argument for leaving them out just because there's no webbing. It's just like the bony skeleton of wings. So that's kind of fun. You could have them over the screen and not obstruct much. The queen bitch of the universe. You love that she called herself that? Hell yeah. I should probably have gotten a more clear image of her. I did get this one, but I forgot to, like, put it somewhere where I can look at it. But I think I could judge from here that, I looked at her game model too. Like, that was the cutscene one. I don't know if it was in-game or not. Yeah, you can't see none of her. Let me look her up real quick, I guess. On a different tab, just in case. Images. Okay, this one looks pretty good. There. I think this is great. I also was looking at the wiki and I wasn't sure what form to look at. But this one looks pretty good. Safe search on. Safe search on. Don't worry, I caught myself. I made the new tab. I was like, wait a minute. um but yeah. This would okay, this is one of those designs that I personally don't have much of a taste for because there's so much visual noise all across the surface of her. Like, there's so many lines and shapes and contours that it's hard for my brain to track what's even going on. It's like, okay, she's got a mess of some weird techno suit. And then, yeah. It's certainly a style that people love, but... Hi, Yazzie, welcome on in. Oh, it's organic? Okay. I figured, like, organic technology or something. You would love her without the wings for VTubing? I figured the wings could be a toggle, so that's not much of an issue. And again, like I said, they wouldn't obstruct everything. How's the stream going? Plus, they're folded in a little bit, so... pretty good. We're just doing a tier list of different 3D characters and how they would work as VTubers. Techno suit-ish VTuber styles are popular with live 2D designs. Valid. Yeah. Different colors too that don't seem to complement each other. Might be intentional considering her origins. For expressiveness, her face is pretty much human with some color changes and lines. Yeah. So there's a market for this kind of model, right? Like I've seen VTubers with this kind of more serious, darker themed, more realistic kind of models. I've seen this out there. Why is everyone calling you cute? Azzy, you can't just walk around being cute and not get called cute. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Women are awesome though, yeah. Okay, so I don't know where to put her, personally. I guess this is my personal tastes. I don't think she'll be fun to make, and I don't know how well she'll actually even work as a model, other than like her wings being a really cool aspect. I'm gonna put her in C for uh works for some, or could work for some. She doesn't really have a universal appeal as a VTuber model, but could work for some. Yeah. She'd be hellish to make with the details on her hair. Ooh, yeah, show me a screenshot of her hair if you got it. You didn't do nothing? You entered chat. That's enough. You're gonna get called cute. It's just gonna happen. You might as well accept it. Oh yeah. Let's see. Open this in browser. Look at this chat. Look at her hair. That would be crazy to make. Like, I don't want to make this. Do you want to make this? I know there are artists who can do this pretty well, but yeah, I'm leaving her in C tier, both because it would be an expensive and hard to make model, and only a few people could really utilize her well. So it is now my break time. So I'm gonna get up and stretch and probably get more tea. And when we come back, we'll try to like pick up the pace a little bit with this tier list. But we're getting there. We're figuring out where these non VTubers would fit in VTuber world. I'll see you all in a little bit. Don't forget to take care of yourselves too. Make sure you're hydrated and such. Be back soon. Thank you, Lulu. Alright, who do we got next? Oh, yeah. Here's some good ones. Alright, this is from a fellow 3D artist. So they understood the assignment. Optimus Prime from the live action movies. How do we feel about this one? How do we feel about this one, chat? Yeah, Michael Bay movies, Optimus. Can you suggest a hell to make tier list? Yeah, you may. Easy model, in your opinion? Yeah? Wow, your blender skills have really gone to a new level. If that's the case, Dimu. What the grip hotel is this? Yeah. This one would wreck your PC 7 times before you could get tracking set up. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. So this uses like realistic shaders, obviously, and also the lighting of the movie. I'm trying to imagine it simplified in some form so it would actually be feasibly possible. Definitely not a regular VRM model, though, probably. But yeah, there's a lot of parts that don't all have to make sense because that's not how these characters are made. But there is a lot to do there. If you've ever watched one of Kiri's streams, she will model like even part of a cockpit for a mech, and it would take her the entire stream just to lay out the blocks of it, and then she draws on top of that to make her art. Like she doesn't even worry about, like, she can texture stuff like this, kind of, pretty much, yeah. But this would take forever. This would be such an expensive model, and I couldn't do it. It's cold out. I agree. We need warms. We need the warm to come back. This is a scrap artist piece, not a VTuber model. Yes. This is how they decorated the giant from the Iron Giant to hide him from the feds. Kiri could do it, but it would take her so much time. Yeah, absolutely. What if it had two forms and could transform? No, done. I'm not doing that. No one's doing that. What if you streamed as a fucking truck? Truck-kun? Are you gonna isekai as? Model that is just a car would go crazy. You have a friend named Tron who loves making robot avatars in VR chat. They love their mechs and from memory, it does take them quite a while. Yeah, it would. Because on one hand, yeah, you can just make random solid objects and then throw them together. But on the other hand, there's a lot of attention to detail here and a lot of different parts. You could be the first to break new ground in the VTuber space. Hell no. We're not doing that. I put... Where is it? Where did I put... There he is. Not suited for VTuber. How would you even stream with that? How would you make that? In fact, this goes above big. This is the most not suited for VTuber. The Michael Bay movie Transformers designs are textbook definition of overdesign. They were going for a style, that's for sure. You feel like the Transformer fans are on another level talented when it comes to making Transformers fan art. I mean, it's a skill like anything else. I'm sure at a certain point it becomes understandable. Wouldn't the top be the bottom in this case? Oh yeah. Wait. I guess going this way would be the least desirable. I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, I've never done one of these. I think you were joking there, but you actually made me realize I messed up. Alright, next one. Timmy Turner, the 3D model. I hate this. This looks awful in every conceivable way. I don't think they should have done this. As someone who's only seen the cartoons, you hate this. Yeah, this is from... Yeah, what's the mouth doing? Yeah, that's the question, right? When you have cartoons where the mouth is always drawn to the side, what do you do with the VTuber? Or what do you do with the 3D model? Your first VTuber model looked like that. Yeah. So, yeah, traditionally very stylized cartoons are hard to adapt into 3D. And this was, as I understand it, for like a one-off crossover kind of movie with Jamie Neutron. Um, so it's not like they had to like really figure out all of the quirks. It was just gonna be the way it was gonna be. This is like a manga front versus side mouth choke button 3D. Exactly. They have the same issue with Sonic. Sonic was always drawn with his mouth on the side, and then when they moved him to 3D, they had to figure out. That's why, like in Sonic Adventure and stuff, he looks kind of uncanny compared to the modern Sonic. You know what they do in modern Sonic 3D? Um, Metroid music detected. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of that this stream. Um, Modern Sonic. So what they do with Sonic these days is they actually have like basically blend shapes that move his mouth from side to side, and it actually like calculates based on the camera what side it should be on. It's pretty interesting. I'm trying to figure out like a good picture of this or example, but I can't. I'm bad at searching stuff on stream. But yeah, essentially, um, Sonic solves this by actually having the dynamic mouth that can move around. Like, look, mine can move a little bit. Just imagine that, but more. And he'll always have his mouth on one side or the other. This wasn't the case in the Sonic Adventure series because they hadn't come up with it yet. But you actually very lightly can do that with your model. Yeah, mine too. Um, but yeah. Thank you for the IRL head pets. Um, Clearly they didn't come up with that here either. And this is also just like atrociously ugly. I I hate this, especially the hair. The hair is just like one piece that stretches out, and like it's just a textured blob. It's really bad. I would hate to see anyone streaming with this. So they go and not suited for VTuber. Um Every second you look at him it gets worse, exactly. That's the bad part. Okay, and we do. I was looking for a reference. It's right here. We have Sonic submitted as well. Okay, look. See how his mouth isn't centered? It changes sides depending on the scene or where the camera is. It's really interesting. Like you could look up videos about this. But that's how they make him look more natural as a 3D character when he was designed to be 2D. You know? So Sonic could work. Just given by the amount of like Sonic OCs out there, original the character, do not steal. People clearly like this kind of design. The only difficult thing is making the eyes the way they are. This is a pain, and I am not sure how I would do it, although I will be figuring out something similar on the next plushie model I'm doing. It just won't have to be as dynamic because it's a plushie. Sonic with the huge eyes is so expressive. Yeah. The one thing I always thought was weird about Sonic in 3D is that the eyes being done like this make it look like his entire head is full of one giant eyeball with two pupils. That's what it looks. Yeah, mono eye with two pupils. Exactly, Cora. You get it. It works in 2D really well, but in 3D you think about the shapes more, and you're like, okay, the way it's with the curvature here, he doesn't have a brain. He just has one giant eyeball and like blue goop over the top and like yellow goop underneath. It's really crazy. Anyway, um I I know people make models like this all the time, and it would be expressive as a VTuber. I probably wouldn't be very good at it, but I think people would like it. I think Sonic works in like visually appealing and expressive, honestly. But like at the bottom of that tier, because it's a little wonky. Cereza, hi, how you doing, cutie? Hope you're doing alright. Alright, we gotta get moving. This fucking thing. Anna, hi. You survived. Don't mind that you fell down the stair behind you and injured your... What? No. Are you okay? I'm sorry. I didn't even notice. I hope you made it the rest of the way, though. Are you okay, love? You're in a lot of pain. Do you need anything? I can get up and help you if you need. Just let me know, okay? Don't be afraid to interrupt me. But yeah, this thing, the gaping dragon. Um, again, we're still on the fellow 3D artist. No, stop that. Yeah, don't be in pain. IRL help priority, exactly. If I can get you anything, let me know. I know there's not much I can do for your pain directly. But we'll talk on my break, if anything. How would you do expressions for this? That's not even what I'm worried about, Jen. Like, yes, but also...
each of those were ribs turned into teeth, Wibble: 3.
The ribs are teeth? Okay, yeah. So there are just 100 problems with this, okay? Remember what we talked about before about wings getting in the way with VTuber models? Well, this guy's got 4 of those, first of all. And no face, so no expressions. And then like a million teeth / ribs. What are you doing here? This is not a VTuber model. I would not even like dare to try to figure out how to get that to work. It has a crocodile head, really? I guess. You're turning the gaping dragon into a VTuber model in protest. Oh my gosh. I would love to see you try. Can't see it from this angle. Okay. So it does have a head. So slightly higher in the not suited for VTuber list than, I don't know. Also, hi Anna and Orchid. You didn't miss too much, but you know what? I'm gonna move chat because it's kind of covering the... There we go. You can go over here. Here, I guess? I don't know. I don't know where to put you for this stream, chat. Maybe just here, but lower. But yeah. Here's what we've rated so far. We got Midna in the Midna tier. Excellent VTuber model. All the attention's in the head. Lots of like expressiveness and a toggleable hat with lots of detail. And you can have her float. Very good. And then we haven't picked anything for S tier yet, but then we have these categories right here, which you can read potentially. And we've just done Elsa, Elle, Sonic, Mustache Girl, Karen, Big the Cat, Optimus Prime, Gaping Dragon, and Timmy Turner, the 3D model. Yeah, Midna tier. We got to. Like, that's important, right? A new, yeah. Well, if there's one I especially hate, although yeah. You love that Char just knows Kerrigan as Karen. Yeah,
Mwah.
listen, names be hard to pronounce. Wah. All right, next up, Ike from Fire Emblem, and that one Smash Bros. Game, or several Smash Bros. Games. I don't know what I'm talking about. Where's Ike at? Here we go. Okay, Ike is just a guy. Like, I'm just gonna say it. He's just a guy. This is what I joked about earlier, that I would make a tier that's just like just a guy. I joked about this on Mern Frog's stream. That's John VTuber. Yes. Good costuming. Yeah. By the way, with how many more expressive Sonic characters there are, Sonic himself would fall behind Mustache Girl, in your opinion. Yeah, probably. Maybe. Yeah, he's just a guy, like, honestly. His outfit's alright, but it's also not very memorable. He has a sword, but how would you use that in VTubing? I guess you could pull it out occasionally. So I'm making a new category, actually. And this is gonna be, just a guy. And I'm making this because I know there's several others that are like this. A guy, I can't type. There we go. Just a bro. You could whip out yours. Lolo. Get jailed. You love hashtag guy. Just a bro. Also, you're glad Timmy Turner is worse than the Gaping Dragon? Yeah. I feel that's true. I think so. Probably should be below optimized and easy. Oh yeah, you're right. I think I meant to do that. There we go. Just a guy. Okay. Timmy Turner is objectively worse than Gaping Dragon. It's true. Okay. Now we have Samus Aran. You know what I think? Well, actually, I'm gonna have issues with this one. Because Samus Aran is amazing. It's an amazing design, works great in the games. But as a VTuber, I have one issue. Well, two. But the most glaring issue here is her shoulders are huge. She's too broad. So how, like, positioning her would be a pain. Modeling her is no issue. Like, even with my limited like hard surface modeling skills, I could probably figure this out. You always just love being a cunty Samus and no suit in like Smash Bros. Yeah. In the Zero suit. Bonus round Zero suit. Yeah, that's a popular. There you go. Outfit changes. That's one plus for this model. You could do the multiple suits too. And I know she has versions of her suit with smaller shoulders, but we're judging the original here. True, just take off the armor. 50,000 channel points. Take my armor off. Yeah. Okay. Second issue is her face is in a mask, which some VTubers do opt for this option. They don't want to puppet their avatar or their expressions. But yeah, she would not be very expressive. Most you could do is wiggle your eyebrows. And blink. It is a very good look though, and it would work for a lot of people. I'm mixed about where I want to put it. It's not expressive. Honestly, could work for some, might be the actually realistic place to put it. Hold on, let me move you again, chat. You're in a terrible spot. There you go. But you know, as much as the top of that tier, yeah. As much as I love the design for VTuber, I think it's like could work for some. I think that's the play here. Joke suggestion, just a guy. Yeah, that's like call back to the first game. Love it. You know, that Metroid guy's pretty cool, isn't he? Yeah. Great character, niche VTuber, yeah. There are some fully armored VTubers that are awesome, but definitely design carries than expression. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why I named this tier the way I did. It's could work for some, because it's not necessarily bad, but it is a niche category. And like it doesn't have a lot of the traditional VTuber things that like people would think of when you first think VTuber. So like I'm not hating on it, but yeah, it's a niche category. Okay. Entropy submitted the Luppengane from that movie that I've never seen or heard of. I think I've seen this guy's face. He's got a very distinct smile. So I kind of understand based on that alone. But yeah. I'm gonna judge these 5 characters together because they're made in the same style. And how do I like zoom in but not all the way on this? They're made in the same style and like they would all functionally work the same way and be in the same category. Okay, these are definitely above just a guide to you. They have a ton of character in their designs. It's true. They're stylized, they have great expressions. Accessories. I think they would work pretty well above
Themed
just a
VTuber
guy.
agencies be like.
Maybe. I don't know. Do I got other opinions? Just a guy tier is what Lulu said. Themed V, yeah, exactly. Themed VTuber agencies. There are definitely some. Oh, I already read that. The best way you can learn for how to make masked characters expressive is you want to look into the iconic helmeted and masked characters for inspiration. Yeah. I mean, I don't. This is pretty just a guy, but they are expressive. They could even. You could even argue they'd be appealing, because for a lot of the same reasons as Elsa is in this category. Expressiveness is key in VTubing, in my opinion, and they're not too overly complex. So like you're like really leaning into like the style of it, right? Yeah. Technically just a guy, but also executed really well. I'm gonna put them next to Elsa. Yeah. Okay, Anna's submission. Look, you made it here for this, Anna. This fucking thing. Okay. So this is a warframe. I don't know anything about warframes, except they all have a booty for some reason. Um, this is Ember from Heirloom, or Ember Heirloom from Warframe. I am butchering my words today. But yeah. Butt 10 out of 10. But when would you use that though? When do you show your butt on, well, okay, some VTubers have a toggle for that. A redeem to like show tail or something. Caked up as God intended. Heirloom. Is it not? Is it not? So it would be full body tracking yoga VTuber meta for sure. It's heirloom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not heirloom. I'm saying heirloom. Well, I'm trying to. I guess I did say heirloom once, but that was a slip of the tongue. So yeah. Okay. So I have a personal beef against this kind of design style because it's one of those that has like so much visual noise that I can't even keep track of what's going on. Like, it's taking me staring at it to like even start to pick out some of like the intentional design choices here. All I saw at first was like fire and gold and ass. Heirloom is what you get when dealing with grandmother, so. You mean, you know where the tongue could slip. Oh my god, Jen. I feel like it's pretty consistent visual clarity. Yeah, you know, of the Warframes I've seen, this one's not too bad. Okay, but where are we putting it as a VTuber? It's excessively detailed. I feel like it would be kind of a niche. It's definitely not optimized and easy to use. It is visually appealing, but it's not expressive. But I'm not gonna say it's not suited for VTubing. So I think it does go down here. It could work for some. Yeah, definitely niche. You want to see them play Animal Crossing so bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there you go. See, you could be happy with this guy. You know what? I'm gonna bump this up. I want this up here above this. Just a guy can just be just a guy down there. Not necessarily below, but I think... Because I'm really not trying to criticize this category. So I think this order makes better. You just gotta make the lack of expressions work for you, yeah. Alright, next up. Flora's submissions. We've got this guy, who is arguably just a guy, but in armor. Praise the sun. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's literally the only thing I know about him, by the way. Praise the sun, and he's in that one meme video where they're like all going like walk into that psalm. He's very just a guy, but awesome, yeah. He's full of jolly cooperation. That's pretty cool. We're not judging his character, though. We're judging his design. And he's literally just a guy. I'm sorry, but no expressions.
I can already see someone creative managing incredibly expressive eyes for this guy.
Yeah. He's a pretty good guy, but he's a guy. Next up from Flora, there's this guy who gets points for being really stylized. And I assume this model can be really expressive as well. I've never played Borderlands, but looking at the model, I could definitely see expressions being worked into this. Cursed guy, yeah. I've never played, I don't know how cursed this is. Jack is the most expressive model in the game, yeah? Okay. In that case, on a lot of merits for being stylized and fun, expressive, cool textures, and would be really fun to make and perform it as a model. Appealing and expressive. Honestly, I've seen like really cool VTubers that have stylized models like this. I'm tempted to put into S tier, honestly. Or I could delete S tier and not have to worry about that. I think S tier works. Yeah, I'm gonna do S tier because I can't think of anything wrong. That's the thing. Like all these ones down here, they had at least one thing detracting from them. In my mind. Like this group, they're just as expressive, just as stylized, but kind of just a guy. This one, I feel like has the textures going for it and stuff, and I don't know. I'm not gonna overthink this too much. First S tier, let's go. Just for fun, leave S tier as S tier. Speaks for itself, yeah. Okay, Lulu's suggestion. Alexana. This is pretty good. Highly detailed. You're normal about this one? Yeah, I could see why. Lies of P, yeah. Okay, one thing we haven't really encountered or talked about much is hair done in this style. I do my hair with like solid shapes, solid meshes, and a lot of VTubers do. But you can also make hair with like strands of textures that are like, you know, just hairs next to each other. This is like the more realistic approach you see in movies and realistic games and stuff. I'd be interested to see a VTuber model using that. She's very one color, that's true. Which can work. We see Annalise's model work that way. Striking skin tone and facial makeup, very unique costume with visual distinct around the neck and shoulders. Lots of high detail, very like you might need to optimize her. You might need to figure out what you're doing to be. She doesn't look like she would be very expressive either. So, what are you doing with her as a VTuber, honestly? Very distinct, though, and attractive. She's got the booba. VTubers love booba. I'm gonna go. Yeah, it would be hard to work. I don't know, do we put her niche? I feel like she's above that. Maybe I need to rename some of these. She's like visually appealing, but not that expressive. Maybe I should separate those two. Quality but niche. I could put for work for some and then put it like at the top of the tier. Because that's where a lot, we put a lot of those there with like the high detail quality. You'd have to be able to rock the vibe, yeah. Work for some. Me, hi. It's you, hi. Yeah. Okay, and you also put this guy, the Arbiter from Halo 3. Um, this has a lot of the same vibes for me. It's detailed and interesting, but not very expressive. The boy. I mean, he at least got a mouth you can do things with, like talking and different expressions of that would be interesting. Since it's a game model of like an older style, it'd be performant. Honestly, it would be kind of fun to see something like that. I could take the safe choice and put them in could work for some, but I also kind of want to put more in here and super optimized and easy to use. I could see that working because there's not really any issues that you would need after you set up the rig. I mean, the talking alone is like a form of expression, right? And like, wouldn't be too in the way. I'm gonna put here. Yeah. Okay. Final Lulu submission. This fucking thing. What am I looking at, Lulu? What is this? It's Flora, yeah. Smash. Yeah, Cora? Yeah? Yeah, it's actually named Flora. Interesting. So this is exact same category as the Gaping Dragon for me. I do not see how this works in any capacity.
How dare you say that about my wife?
Oh my gosh. This is going in the not suited for VTuber category. There's no face that you can see. It's just a jumbled mesh. It's probably not very optimized and not expressive and just like what are you doing? Just putting it in the corner? It's just a little pet at that point. She's hot, is she now? No justice for Moon Presence. I'm sorry, that's the bottom tier. You forgot what kind of list this was first time. Yeah? Were you gonna rate that higher on a different list? You're a bottom tier. I see. Let's stay focused, chat. We're looking for VTuber models, okay? How would you stream with this? Focus. Alright, Dimu's submission. Gwen from League of Legends. I really love the scissor. And, honestly, the whole vibe. Very cool dress. Very cool hair, which is important for a VTuber. I think this would work very well. I'm trying to think of issues. I don't know how expressive the face is, but it could be made very expressive. Or at least expressive enough, you know what I mean? You know, we're not thinking about the game it's from, chat. We're just thinking about... Wait, where is it? Did I not save this image? 1 second, chat. Unless I missed it. Tier list. Win. Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't see it down here. But there it is. Okay, I'm doing S tier for this because she just looks like a VTuber model to me. Honestly. Like, can you see a difference? She has emotes, yeah. The hair nicely fits. will not overshadow the screen, or overwhelm the screen. Leak models are typically easily made into VTuber models, largely because they're designed to be eye-catching and specifically viewed. Exactly. So that's an easy S tier for me, I think. Yeah, extremely. In fact, I'd say above this guy. Like, this is like a staple VTuber. Like, you'd see her anywhere. Okay. Lay put in this unknown character from some unknown obscure series, Kingdom Hearts. Kyrie. So there's 3 different forms. I'll just judge them all together. Honestly, I kind of want to put her in just a guy category because I don't see anything that really stands out. But that's just me being biased against human models. I don't know. What do you think, Chad? Just a girl? Yeah. Well, the thing is, compare her to the Luppengain. She's barely stylized. Yeah, it's kind of like a boring style, right? Like, it works in the game. Don't get me wrong. In the context of a game, the style works. But as a VTuber, we try to be very eye-catching, right? We try to stand out from the rest. And maybe at this point, this would stand out. I don't know. But, I don't see a lot of, like, attention-grabbing, I think she'd work well, admittedly. Yeah, this is kind of the thing you'd get from Vroid templates or so. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Well, you know what? We can't forget about this category. Look at how performant she is. Like, she's already really well optimized. This would probably be a lightweight model. She has expressions. We can put her in super optimized and easy to use. That's fair. You're sending me an informal submission in DMs for fun? Let me look. What is this? What? What is this guy? Okay, I want to get through my existing list and then maybe I'll circle back. Also, thank you for showing me the Gaping Dragon's face, Jen. And Cora, you both sent me the exact same screenshot. Now I'm catching up on DMs. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's keep going through here. Okay, we have. I've never seen Reboot, but we have Hexadecimal and Megabyte from Reboot. You know, the style is kind of crazy, but this kind of gives a VTuber design vibe, doesn't it? I'm not gonna lie, like that could kind of work. Those would do so well as VTubers. I think you're right. This one's kind of wild, but I think it would work as well. Also, these are really old models, so obviously they'd be performant. I think I would put them both in this category. Just the B category, which is not bad. They're optimized and easy to use. I think they would be fun for people to use. You know she has crazy expression masks? Yeah, I think that's a good category for them. In fact, they're gonna go up there. Near the top of... Yeah, I think that works. The way her mask works is cool too. For most of the show, they're static faces. And she like wipes her hand over her face to swap expression. That's really neat. I like that. Someone else submitted this, so we'll get to it. All right, Cora, we got your options now. Chain chomp. I don't want to say not suited for VTuber. This actually would be really funny as a VTuber. I super optimized and easy to use. Do we put it here? Yeah. Yeah, just imagine normal chain chomp from Super Mario 64. Could work for some, you'd think. I'm also tempted to just put it in just a guy. Cause it's funny. But no. It could work for some. There's only one expression. Only one expression, and it's just a ball. So you'd have to like figure out your positioning with that. Well, it could close its mouth. Yeah, I'm putting it in. Could work for some. Break time again already? No, I don't want to go on break. What is this? Cora, what is this? Is it the ceaseless discharge from Dark Souls 1? I don't know what I'm looking at. My position is ball. It's just a little guy. This is just like an explosion of magma. Malformed demon thing, just not for VTubing, yeah. I don't even know how I would make this or make it look good at all as a VTuber. This is going down here. Well, it's above Timmy Charmer at least. You can't even read the design. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure it's a great boss, but yeah. He has a face at least. If I had to look for it, it doesn't count as a VTuber face. Yeah, Timmy Turner. Timmy stays in the back forever. It's not a good boss? Okay. Well, then it's just at the bottom of the bottom tier, except for Timmy. I'm gonna go on break. I'll be back hopefully in like 5 minutes. I'll see you all in a little bit, okay? Alright, chat, I'm back. On screen. There we go. Okay. So we got the ceaseless discharge out of the way. Now there's this one. I'm in the way. Chat's in the way. This one's very pretty. Who is this? Let me see. Guinevere? Yeah, something like that.
Dax Soul's message. Amazing chest ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so as a VTuber model, I think this one would be low on expression, but otherwise very dazzling. Very appealing for some. Where do I put her though? She also looks kind of optimized, not gonna lie. Do I put her in the niche category or the optimized category?
Dark Soul's message. Try holding with both hands.
I feel like she'd have pretty wide appeal, not gonna lie. Try holding with both hands. I'm gonna put her here. With those boobs, she's not niche. Okay, yeah. You said the part we weren't saying. Yeah, that mommy appeal that Twitch viewers love. And then finally we have Fox McCloud. Specifically from the N64. Scrungly, yeah. I like it. I like the vibe. Certainly not very expressive, though. This is probably the best Fox, though. You should do a barrel roll. Yeah. Or whatever the actual roll is. Stylized and easy to use. Goes there. For the 5th gen, we get marvels of art like Mega Man Legends, Vagrant Story, The Threads of Fate, and then we have this. Yeah, hella optimized. Definitely goes there. Okay. So moving on. I did not add this one. This one came in the middle of stream. So I'm gonna skip over it for now just because I don't have an image I can easily drop in. And then we got Sephiroth. Already has the vibes of a VTuber, they write. Drop dead gorgeous, amazing voice, and a tragic backstory. How do we feel about Sephiroth, chat? Quick, judge him based on his original model. Does someone have a link to that? You can drop it in chat if you want to. I've never played Final Fantasy. You do like Sephi? Yeah, I was trying to decide myself. I'm like, where's the image I have? This one. I was looking at this this image. I will never be just a guy. Sephiroth. Yeah. Imagine rigging all that hair. That would be a bit of a pain. Might want to use magic cloth or something for that. Sluttiest chest opening. Yeah. he kind of doesn't have much else going on, but he is iconic. I know he got that one angel wing too, so that's kind of fun. The hair's not too bad, honestly.
Mwah.
I could do it if I really had to. Oh, I forgot to resume the timer. My bad. Okay, y'all get a little bonus time. I forgot to resume it after break.
Pat, pat, pat.
I knew that would happen at some point. And give her the head pats. Yay, bonus char. Hi, Amada. Welcome in. Okay, so I'm getting mixed messages here. Some people are like, particularly the more lesbian people on chat, are just like, it's just some generic white boy, anime boy. And I like the long hair. I like the outfit. I like the wing. But you're right, there's not much beyond that. Yeah, I don't want to appear biased though. Just because I'm a lesbian doesn't mean I'm not gonna. I think in all fairness, it's expressive and visually appealing. So I think it goes in A tier. Personally. It's just a well-rounded design, and it would not be that hard to make, especially if you went like with an older, more stylized version of the model. Which I don't know if anyone got me that. But yeah. You found rips from the PC version and Sephiroth's not in them. Rip. Carried by style, yeah. I do like the way I ended up making this list is it kind of prioritizes just being visually appealing, which honestly I think makes sense for a VTuber model. A lot of people prioritize that a lot, and for good reason. Yeah, it's very important. I do have him at the bottom of A tier though, just because he is kind of just a guy vibes. I was tempted to put him down here, don't get me wrong. Okay, next one. Joker from Persona. And you would have bonked me for that crime, yeah. Joker is just a guy, slander him. Honestly, yeah. If you want to talk about generic anime boys. Don't rate that, you'll get the Persona curse and shut down your gacha game. Alright. I'm putting him in just a guy. Yeah, an anime teen with the mask. There's nothing special. You know what? I forgot. I was gonna, when I went through these, I was gonna comment the timestamp so that people could go and see how I rated it. I completely forgot. It's too late now. We're most of the way through. Oh well. Alright. Yeah. Milena from Elden Ring. Yeah, after stream Char or not at all. I might go through and like tag them all later. Yeah, I could just show the final list on Blue Sky. Although if people are interested, they could check the part in the VOD. Melania. Melania. Thank you. That GIF shows none of her. That is why I also got... Where is she? I also got this. Is this better? Does that represent her? In-game, very good. Yeah, I try to go for like the in-game example in these cases. Okay, I actually do know about this boss because someone, I think it was Lulu, might have been Anna. Lulu or Anna loves this boss and showed it to me. I think it was Lulu. I know she has a really cool, like, second form. She's very boss, yeah. But yeah, we're judging her design. How would this work as a VTuber? And as a VTuber, does her helmet come off? Because if not, I'm rating this very lowly. In fact, even then, she's kind of just a gal. But I guess she does have a cool cape and some really nice red flowing hair. She can also lift it, yeah. Comes off in phase 2. I remember the phase 2, I think. That would be a really cool toggle. I'm gonna give it props for, like, the phase 2. Sent phase 2 screenshot, thank you. Ooh, yeah. Is this Twitch safe? This is Twitch safe, right? Kind of. I don't know. I mean, people can play the game on Twitch. So limits to expressiveness. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Really interesting second form. If this was a VTuber model, though, you would want to make it more Twitch safe. But I like how her hair goes into the, whatever the hell this mess is. So yeah. That's, I don't know where to put her. Oh, Anna. Do you need ice or something to put on it? Where you hit yourself? Where you... I don't even know what part of you is hurting. If you want me to get you an ice pack, let me know. You think you're good? Okay. Oh, I lost my place. Okay. I'm just gonna put her... Could work for some. Absolutely could work for some. Everything is hurting. Aww. Yeah, I was gonna say, Leighton. Specifically the cold object you can put on your body for bruising. Otherwise, that statement is very not cool these days. Yeah, definitely. Phase 2 is really cool. Alright, now we got this guy. Nemesis from Resident Evil. This is a complex model. This would require Substance Painter. can't imagine modeling this by traditional means like what I do. You would have to do this in Substance Painter, which for chat, if you don't know, is a separate application where you can like basically paint on details on the surface of a model. It's also not very appealing. I would say not very suited for VTuber. The shoulder, yeah, he's very broad, no expressions. Very hard to make. Let's put him in yeah, this tier down here. That bomb is pulsating. Oh gosh. Could work for some, maybe. Maybe. If you wanted to make that work, you could. But I don't know who you would commission for that, is the other part I'm calculating in. Okay, and then finally Dragonborn from Skyrim. I'm sorry, but he's just a guy. She's just a guy. Yeah, I added your thing. Why not? Okay. Now we have Dante from... I forget. This guy. I could model that hair. I'm not so great with like the realistic hair. I could do it like blocky like this. Devil May Cry, okay. I don't want to say just a guy, because, like, he's got a lot of style, but he is kind of just a guy. He's just got an outfit, a weapon, and white hair. He's like a cool guy, yeah. He's like Sephiroth to you, just a guy, but lifted heavily by style. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, I guess he fits right there next to Sephiroth. Odds avatar from Code Loco. I have no idea what this is. Yeah. That has mustache girl energy to you. Same. It's a classic show. Interesting. It's your childhood? These hands kind of remind me of modeling your VTuber's hands demo. It's French, You watched this as a kid and you remember none of it. It's not a 4-head, it's a 14-head. Looks optimized. Easy to use. Kind of ugly, but I don't know. Are we doing a beauty contest here? Or are we doing just like form and function? And ugly is subjective. I'm just gonna drop it in easy to use because it's expressive enough. It's visually distinct enough, and it looks optimized. All right, Latent put Slate from Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds. Don't give me spoilers, but this is literally at the start of the game. And to me, this is like a really cool alien design. I like the double eyes. Lay, Froggy, hi, welcome on in. Hi, we're doing a tier list. Rated, I was rated once. They locked me in a stream, a Twitch stream with followers. And the followers get me rated. Rated? I was rated once. Hi, how was your stream? How was the rest of art? Did you finish drawing maids kissing? And can I see? I know very specifically my chat would like to see this art piece if it was done. Yeah, and there's a play clip command. Check them out.
Delicious.
I need to remember to point that out more.
Well, guess we'll just have to sit here and listen to my rendition of Spooky Scary Skeletons and Lay doesn't remember the lyrics. Spooky Scary Skeletons and shivers down your spine. Chrissy, sorry, back.
Pink, you were pinked once. Maple got you with a gun. A pink gun with paintballs. Still in progress, but I can give you a sneak peek if you wanna. I would love a sneak peek. And since you were streaming it, you wouldn't mind me showing it off, right? I want the art tax. Any of my art friends that raid me, I want art tax. So yeah, I would love a peek. But anyway, yeah, welcome in, Raiders. My name is Char. I'm a dragon that normally does 3D models, but this week we're doing a subathon, and right now I'm doing my tier list of 3D characters as VTuber models. So far we got like a bunch of interesting tiers and a bunch of characters in it. At the top of all VTuber models, we have Midna in the Midna tier. And then S tier, we have Gwyn from League of Legends and this guy from Borderlands. And then you can kind of just visually see the rest here. I'm not going to name them all. You see Handsome Jack. I forget who that is and where. I don't know half of these characters. I am just going with the flow here. You show you the progress on this your character here we've been working on of Maids Kissing, available on our region. If you haven't heard that before, you probably should check it out. Yeah, check out Mern Frog, everyone. Everyone who's here in my stream, definitely check out Mern Frog. They're some of my closest friends. They do really good art. Froggy especially, right here. Look at that. This is, if it'll load. Froggy, what is happening? This won't load. Help. Is it my end? Is it my fault? Yeah, that doesn't want to load for me. Is it missing the file extension? Is this supposed to have like a .png at the end or something? Yeah, you can just send it in Discord.
Frog.
That's right. Yeah, check them out. They do great art. Anyway, I was rating this guy as a VTuber. I like the eyes. I like the skin pattern. Lots of face detail would work very well. I'm gonna put him right here, visually appealing and expressive. You can do a lot with the eyes. Great art somewhere. You promise. Okay, that should work. Yes! Okay, this is a work in progress, chat. But guess what? It's me and my wives as maids. it's Annalise and Orchid. Isn't that looking good? Yeah! I'm so excited for this one. This is a Your Character Here commission, by the way. So if you go check out their VGen, you can actually get these. Right. Like if you have partners or friends that you want to kiss, you can be maids and kiss. It's really great. There's another version where it's just 2 people. And it looks so good, yeah. It's almost like Froggy was the original artist for her wyvern form. Or something like that. Anna's not shaded yet. Yeah, I could see her hair's a little flat. It's okay. This is looking so good already. I am very excited for this one. Froggy, you do great work. Thank you so much. Alright, obviously this goes in S tier for being great VTuber models. No. Alright. So I got that one. We're almost through these. And then we'll have like an hour and a half for my birthday tomorrow. I did not catch this one in time, so we're skipping over that. And then we had Captain Underpants, where I was like, does this have a 3D model? And they were like, yes, actually. There you go. So, I know we said we're going to keep Timmy Turner's 3D model in the bottom of bottom tier. But personally, chat, I think this is just as ugly, and it wouldn't be Twitch safe. Well, it would, but I would hate looking at it. It's more ugly. So I'm putting it down here. I don't care. Also, it would be hard to rig that face. Not that you couldn't do it, but... Just above Timmy Turner, please. You think Timmy Turner's worse? I guess I could see the argument for that. More stylized than expressive. Okay, we'll put him above. They made Timothy 3D. Yeah, it was for like, what do you call a collab that's between shows? Crossover. It was a crossover movie between, Very Odd Parents and, Jimmy Neutron. You wish to unremember that the 3D exists. Yeah, oh, do you want to see Lay up close? Because that's just a little tiny icon. You want to see this, right? This is something you're just begging to see. Oh, that's not much bigger. There you go. Yeah. Imagine this as a VTuber model. This would be awful. I hate this. You're really fine without? Okay. If you're sure. Alright. Last one. It's not even on this list. But Anna sent it in DMs, and I allow her to break my rules like this. Please show the 3rd image of this guy you sent me. Okay. Oh yeah, this one. Very pleasant. This guy. And who is this again, Anna? And why is he so creepy? Came from a Dragon Guard? Dragon Guard? He's a protagonist, yeah? I would like to unsee him too. This is, Yoko Tara's first protagonist. I don't know if he really gives protagonist vibes for me. Can you give him back? Put him back, he's not done. Yeah, 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 that's how you look at cheesecake. Alright, well, with that scary realization, he's just a guy, honestly. I'm sorry. He's going there. Even looking at his full model, which I was given to look at, he's just a guy in armor. This is the same category we put Ike in. I don't find armor very exciting, chat. Not for VTubing. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the full model. Just a guy. Very generic.
He backslash S expressive at least. Also he backslash S fucking a dragon, so he backslash S amazing actually.
Okay, well, you convinced me. We'll put him up here with in Midna tier. Clearly the best character ever. No. He's just a guy. No. TDS is getting escape streams, yeah. That happens sometimes. No, I'm not putting him back. No. Anyway, here's my final tier list. Feel free to take a screenshot or whatever. I don't care. This is well, I'm gonna download it and post it on Blue Sky. This was really fun. Thank you for doing this with me, chat. I had a good time. This honestly went better than I even expected. We talked about a lot of fun topics, practicality of VTuber models and like how I would build them and stuff. It could work for some, yeah. Maybe. It's fun. And Pikmin tomorrow. Yeah, let's talk about that. Oh yeah, hey Lay, remember how I was afraid of how this would go? You may see the timer's doing fine. Jen dropped $100 on me. Rawr. Thank you again for that, Jen. Also, thank you everyone else who contributed and donated as well. I got like $10 donations left and right, and close to that amount. I'm sorry if I don't remember them all. It's been a long day already. Ow. Thank you for the brick. $10 and $5 here and there, that sort of thing. So we got the clock back up. We have enough time for tomorrow, which is my birthday. And now that we're above $500, we are definitely doing Pikmin.
S birthday is tomorrow. Everyone show up and shower her in gifts.
You don't have to shower me in gifts. It would just mean a lot to me if you would show up and let me ramble to you about Pikmin, which is my favorite game on the GameCube. It's the reason I got a GameCube. And I can play it and show you all why I like the game so much and why I was obsessed with it. Or maybe not, maybe less of why, because I can't even really explain it. I'll just show you. So yeah, it would mean a lot if you'd show me that. Or just show up and watch the stream tomorrow. And I have a redeem to end this out on, so Ada. I'm out of practice with those. It's also kind of weird doing it in my chibi model. Never played any Pikmin. Looks fun though. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. You forgot to get it. Of course you have it ready. Can't wait for tutorial speedrun. I will be kind of like showing some speedrun tactics, but I don't know them very well. I will be playing fast though, or trying to. Pikmin good, yeah. Gotta hit him with the awa awa and chibi form. Awa awa. Yeah. Okay. Let's pause the timer here. And we're going to raid out to someone. Save us a little time for the birthday stream tomorrow. Let's see who is live. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for being here. This is really fun. People, options, things. Yeah, big day tomorrow. I'm excited. I don't think I've ever really hyped my birthday up this much. So this should be an interesting one. Should we raid Yarny? We had several Dark Souls bosses in this stream. So and Yarny's playing Dark Souls. Looking forward to it. I'm glad, Elsie. Can't wait to see you there. Could raid Yarny. Everyone else that I see here, I've raided recently. So, Shadow Dragonclaw's playing Warframe. That's another reference from this stream. Someone submitted a Warframe as a VTuber. Yeah, I don't know. Have I ever raided Shadow, actually? Which frame, though? I don't know. Let me check. Also, I don't know if I've ever raided Shadow. I might have. Ember Heirloom, yeah. That's the one. I think I put it in niche, but could work for some. Sorry, my brain is like fried at this point. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I've been doing a lot of streaming.
Pat, pat, pat.
I don't think I've ever raided Shadow. Maybe we should. If you don't know, Shadow Dragonclaw is not only a member of the Dragon Council, but, oh no, we raided her once. Last year. Twice last 3 times. No, twice last year. But yeah, she's a member of the Dragon Council, and she's one of the leads, actually. I know a lot of you like Warframe, so I'll let you go watch her. You can grab the raid message, grab your T, delete your default cubes. The 3D modeling dragon raid is here, even though I've not done 3D modeling on this channel for 3 days now. It still works. I like my brand identity being out there. It's fun. Okay. You might warp from time to time. Yeah, I know. I know you. You're that type. Check out my Discord server if you like hanging out there. It's a good way to keep in touch with me when I'm not doing streaming things. And then there's my Blue Sky. That's my primary social media. I do all my announcements there and stuff. Finally, check out my VGen. I make VTuber models for a living. So if you want to get a model from me, check that out. And I'll be here tomorrow for my birthday. Thank you, everyone, so far. And I hope to see you all tomorrow as well. See you.